off on our way to Duna for a flyby mission. Oh, I forgot a thing. One of our missions that we're going to be doing here is delivering a satellite, if I remember correctly. Orbit of the moon, yeah. Explore Duna. Ike, yes. Okay, I need to get one of my satellites. I believe I have a subassembly that I'll need to tweak a little bit. Small satellite, here it is. What does the satellite need on it? Let's see. Unmanned probe has an antenna, can generate power, mystery goo, thermometer, and materials bay. Okay, yeah, so I need to do a little adjustment here. Let's see, let's pull that off, get a materials bay. Oh, hang on. And I guess let's learn from some of the problems we've had with other satellites, and let's improve this one just a tad by we'll put our thermometer there. Put our mystery goo there, and then actually let's put our mystery goo there, and then we'll put better solar panels on this thing. Should also do action groups before I launch, so let's take care of a couple of things that I'd totally forgotten about. What was I looking for? Oh yeah, electricity 1/6, yes please. 2 packets of that. Okay, so materials bay got it, thermometer got it, mystery goo got it. Go around Ike, and then all right, that ought to do the trick for that one. RCS, should I put RCS on it? No, I don't think we need RCS on the satellite. Unless we want to be docking it over and over. Do we want to dock the satellite? I don't think so. I think we're just gonna get up there and we're gonna launch this one and never redock it. So we're thinking about for the future if I need to reorganize the way satellites are in space on a craft, then on a delivery craft, then it's worth thinking about it that way. Now, next question. Should I put a fairing around this whole assembly? Probably so, huh? Or maybe around the whole capsule? Let's look at what it would look like. And by look like, I mean how it would work. That's the part that matters. Yeah, that can't hurt us. Alright, how's our ship look here? Yeah. Yeah, see? Yeah. Okay. Action groups. Let's do that real quickly, and then we will be on our way. So we're going to go to Custom Group 1 for solar panels and radiators. Radiator. Toggle. Radiator toggle. Solar panel toggle. Solar panel toggle. Solar panels toggle. Yes, sir. That ought to do action group 1. Now let's do our science action group. We won't do those ones. We'll just do the ones on the main craft. Oh, I need to first open the bays. Open the pod bay doors. Hal! Action groups. Group 10. Observe. Observe. Log. Where's my thermometer? Ah, there it is. Log. Okay. I believe that's all the science on the craft. Yep. Alright, so now that we've got that all done, let's close these doors, and now let's go to Duna. The mission here is a flyby and also a satellite delivery, so it's a dual mission, and we're gonna do our best. My constant worry is fuel, so I'm just gonna try to do an efficient launch. And the fact that I've got 2 nuclear engines and then these side pods of fuel, I'm hoping is going to be sufficient to get me to Duna and back, obviously, and back. Got a lot of launch power here, so hopefully this is a good enough launch platform. It is asparagus staged, so the side boosters will come off in sequence, 2 at a time, and then leave me the mainsail fully fueled, hopefully at about the 12 to 15,000 meter mark. Asparagus 1. Looking pretty good so far. We won't do our roll program yet. Not until after we've dropped the side boosters. Nice, looks very stable. Losing a little bit of speed though. The mainsail doesn't seem to be quite enough by itself. Alright, so the big question, should I fire up the nuclear engines at this point? Will they make a difference? No, we're starting to pick up speed again. Let's just ride this out and see how it goes. Let's just see how she goes. Surprised that the mainsail doesn't seem to be enough because, I mean, it's such a powerful engine. As far as I know, it's the most powerful engine. At least it's the most powerful one that I have unlocked at the moment. I don't think it's going to be enough, though. I think I'm going to have to do some re-engineering to make the launch platform a little more stout. Maybe add some SRBs. I don't know. Maybe add another level to the asparagus stages. It's our current apoapsis, 47. Yeah, I don't think this is going to be good enough, kids. Maybe I need to go to a 6 asparagus system. It's just a pain in the butt with the Separatrons. It really is. Oh, okay. I think we have a problem up top in staging. Let's revert back there. What happened there? That popped. Is that the... Yeah, I launched my satellite in the fairing, so that's not ideal. There we go. Okay. Let's go to a six stage asparagus system. Means it's going to be a little bit of work here. I'll go into time lapse and get this done. Alright everybody, welcome back to Duna 1. Hopefully we've got our launch platform sorted here. We'll figure it out in just a second. As you can see, I've gone to a 6 booster asparagus design. Still all liquid fuel, no SRBs. Ooh, I did forget to put fins on. We're going to give it a shot. Oh, I didn't do the fins or the launch towers. So we'll see how she goes. If nothing else, and nothing stops us from doing yet another reversion. This feels quicker though. There should be a lot of launch power with 6 skippers and a mainsail. It's a good step. I'm gonna roll it just a little bit. Get a little bit of horizontal velocity going. Another good separation. Oh, too much, too much, too much. Okay, let's put the fins on. Let's put the fins on. I think that's going to make a big difference. I'm hoping. Alright, Deja Vu, Groundhog Day. Welcome back to Duna 1! We are going to launch this Mamma Jamma into space, this time for sure. This time for sure. What could go wrong? We'll delay the turn this time. I started turning around 7,000. We'll delay it this time to 12 or 13,000. Whoa! We lost a booster. What happened there? Wonder why that happened that time. Just unlucky with the wind. Separatrons are supposed to stop that sort of thing from happening. Alright, first booster set to attack. Okay, better separation that time. Push, baby, push! Definitely looking stronger at this altitude than it was in our initial launch, so that's good. Now we have a full mainsail at 30,000. I think this could be it. This could be solid. Okay, we'll pause it right there. Let's go look at how we're doing. 48. Yeah, I do believe that this is a good launch platform. I think we figured one out. Let's double check our next stages. All right, after this flames out, we'll have that stage, and then the nuclears will launch. And then that'll be our last separation until we're launching satellites. So no more staging, Ben. No more staging. Just be good. Don't get all punchy with the buttons. Okay, let's go ahead and start pointing prograde. Get as much orbital velocity as we can. I don't want to do any of my orbit circularization or establishment with the nuclear engines. They're just too low power for it. But I think we're going to be okay. I think the mainsail is going to get me there. I really do. I feel cautiously optimistic. And if I can even go so far as to use the mainsail to push an elliptical orbit with a high prograde and a low, with a high apoapsis and a low periapsis, that'll be even better. Because then I can use the, what's it called? The Oberth effect, I think it's called, where you burn at periapsis and you're more efficient. I do believe we are going to have to use our nuclear engines. I think we're going to run out. Man, it's just so close. It's so close to being perfect. Yeah, I'm not even sure that the nuclears are going to have enough oomph to get me into orbit at this point. Let's give it a whirl, though. We'll see how she does. I see the design flaw now. The little engine pods here, these fairings, these adapters, the Rockomax adapters, are touching one another. And so when it separates, A is pulling B apart. Only happens though when I'm at an angle for whatever reason. Let's try to get a little earlier horizontal velocity here. I am relatively convinced that this launch platform will work if I just get a more efficient launch. Okay, that's a pretty aggressive angle of attack there. Alright, we're at full mainsail. Okay, so as you can see here, we had a wobbly launch. Probably could have been a way better launch, but I think the general idea of adding that intermediate stage was a good idea. If we have to revert, we'll try to do some design changes to make that better. I'm not sure why that decoupler was causing that problem. It's weird. I also took the step of removing oxidizer from the nuclear stage, from the final stage. That way, I'm hauling around about a third less weight, since the nuclear engines, I remember, do not use the oxidizer. So that's a good thing. It's gonna help me, be about a third more efficient when it comes to power to weight ratio. So we're gonna now do a couple of Oberth burns and see if we can't do a better job of getting out of the Kerbal system. Let's get pointed prograde and prepare to fire. Fire. I'm going to try to, basically, I should get about, delta squared out of every burn here. So if I get 200 one burn, I should get, 400 the next, and then 800 the next, and then 1600 the next, and so on. So I'm just going to do that, and it might be several burns going around the planet here, burning at periapsis, go around, burn at periapsis, go around, burn at periapsis. So this time I'm going to take it up to about 500,000, maybe six, maybe we'll take it to 6. I'm not sure what we started at there. Yeah, we'll take this up to about 600,000, and then we'll do another loop, burn again, and then that should allow us to take it to probably, I think, 1200. Using the same amount of fuel each time. So I'm doubling my apoapsis with each burn is essentially what that's not quite accurate, but I'm getting more and more oomph out of every burn when I do it this way, as opposed to one long burn where I'm burning well after periapsis. And then if I'm lucky, I can, when I've got say a 6 million or so apoapsis, if I'm lucky, I'll be able to plot a moon slingshot that will, propel me out without any more burns, without having to actually burn out of the system, I can gain a bunch of Delta V by a close approach to the moon. That is my hope, at least. Alright, so this time we're going to take it up to probably 1200. Coming up on periapsis here. We'll hit it right around 900,000 meters. That's excellent. We'll burn until the apoapsis is about 1200. And then we'll let off, come back around, and then you'll see the next time we'll be able to burn it up to 2200 using the same amount of fuel. Or excuse me, 2400 using the same amount of fuel. It's not a bad looking little spacecraft. So see how fast that's happening there. It's kind of the inverse of diminishing returns. It's getting more and more effective with every iteration, with every cycle. And I think I'm using the right terminology, Oberth effect. If not, correct me in the comments below. I want to be accurate. I didn't look it up beforehand. It's just a thing I think I know. Obearth, I think it is, effect. Named after some dude named Oberth, who figured it out, I suppose. Let's see if I can't get this up to 24 before cutting. And then next time we should be able to get it up to, almost 5 million. Using the same amount of fuel every time to double the distance each time. Double the effectiveness, double the delta. So it's not that I'm gaining the same amount of meters every time. I'm gaining with the same amount of fuel with each burn. I'm gaining double the distance of the last burn. That's probably the better way to say it. This is a hard thing to describe. I'm not a physicist. But this one should allow me to get to 48, from 24 to 48 using the same amount of fuel. So last time I went from 12 to 24. The time before that I went from 6 to 12. And so, get the idea. I've gone from 600,000 meters in a burn to now 2.4 million meters in a burn. Using the same amount of fuel each time because I'm burning only a periapsis. I'll stop belaboring this point. I think you get it. Hopefully it's useful in your exploits in Kerbal Space Program. Alright, so let's stop this one at 48. And then let's think about a Mooner encounter, see if I'm able to get it done on the next pass. Oh, no, slash. Add maneuver. Do I get lucky? What is that? Menace encounter? That's not what we want. We want a Mooner encounter. Oop, hang on. Heyo. Okay. Can I get you to slingshot me, though? It's a really brief encounter, huh? Hey. Might be talking here. Okay, let's give that a shot. We'll actually need to make a tweak to it because As it stands, that would actually be a lunar impact, not a lunar encounter. Well, it's an encounter, it's just not the kind you want. All right, so it says it's only a 53-second burn, so that being the case, we'll burn at 30 to go, 25 to go. Let's get oriented exactly, and let's go ahead and burn. This is way better than the last attempt. Having the I think having the oxidizer off the ship is a huge bonus to my efficiency here. Because yeah, we've still got 3,300 units of fuel left, and we are preparing to escape the Kerbal system. This actually feels pretty good. I think we're going to get there. I wish the launch platform were more stable. That's the only pox on the house at the moment. Okay, what we'll do is get it up there, and then we'll try to tweak with RCS to avoid impact of the moon. All right, let's turn that off. Right now we have a lunar impact. Let's turn on RCS, and we have a periapsis now. A 10,000 meter periapsis ought to do the trick for us. The only thing is, I lost my escape velocity. If I make a slight burn at apoapsis, what's that do? I want my escape back. All right, let's read this. Okay, so if I do this burn, then I'm going to have a 300,000 meter lunar periapsis that will then send me back toward Kerbal with a 3 million meter periapsis, which will then launch me out. But it can't really be a 16-minute burn. No, it's only 36 meters per second. Okay, we're going to do that. I'm going to quick save. Yeah, I'm going to quick save, and then we're going to warp out to here and get this done. Okay, so let's get oriented for... Oh, turn off RCS. Oh, and I should really extend all my panels. Nearly stupid of me, doing that big time warp without having those out. Okay. What's up, pretty girl? Looking okay out there in space. This is crazy. I love it. All right, 7, 6, 5. Okay, what are you thinking? Curb and escape. Okay, let's make sure we don't have an impact. We do still have an impact. Let's just get a periapsis. I don't care how low it is, as long as it's over, say, 3,000, 4,000 meters. Okay, 27,000 meters. We're going to slingshot around the moon and then curve and escape. Awesome. That ought to do the trick for me. Yeah, I see no danger in this. So another quick save, just in case there's danger in this. Here comes the moon, where Armstrong Base is, as you saw in a couple episodes ago, I think it was. Woo! Let's watch Kerbin disappear. Well, not disappear, but we'll watch our nav ball here to change. That'll tell us we're in interstellar or interplanetary space. And then we'll start thinking about our rendezvous with Duna. See all three bodies out there. Okay, I think we just changed spheres of influence. We are now on a solar orbit. Let's think about Duna. We've got a periapsis of 11, apoapsis of 13. If I do my maneuver at periapsis, what does it tell me? I need to set my target. Where are you at, Duna? Way off. Costs a little more delta V, but do I get an intercept here? No. I'm trying to remember, Duna needs to either be about 45 degrees in front or behind, and I can't remember which it is. So the descending node, let's see what it tells me. They're way off. Oops. Just way the heck off. Alright, let's do a quick orbit. And let's warp around. Yeah, let's do a quick orbit. That's right, just a year. That's all it is. Let's do a quick year. What was that? What cast a shadow in space? Maybe it was just the panels. Yeah, I guess that's all it was. Alright, now that we've done a full orbit, let's look at the orientation of our planets here. Kerbin. And let's just see it again. Might have to do another run there. It's better. Getting better. Okay, I think one more orbit will do the trick. Because if I have to do that big elliptical intercept like that, then it'll just end up using more fuel and making my relative velocity to Duna more than what I want it to be. So while the main mission here is only a flyby, the more my orbital velocity, the harder it's going to be to do the Ike satellite mission. So I am going to try to do a relatively slow flyby. And again, I'm, as always, just worried about fuel. I want to have more propellant than I need. So why do I still have oxidizer? You know what? I didn't empty the oxidizer out of the little side tanks. Wish I could jettison it in space, because I'm still carrying around some weight that I don't need. That's a bummer. Think about that for the next time. Alright, so what are we looking at here? I have separated from Kerbin quite a lot. It's interesting. I guess that little Mooner slingshot really changed my attitude to Kerbin quite a lot. Okay. Now, if we add a maneuver node and push out, what do we see? What do we see? Pretty close. Oh, we should be firing right now, I guess. Okay, that is a Mooner encounter. Let's go ahead and do that, and then we'll fine-tune it. Says it's going to be a 16-minute burn. I don't think that's accurate, but it is 1,400 meters per second, so it could be. Alright, let's actually see if we can fine-tune it. It's really hard to tweak. Okay, we'll just do the burn. and see if we can tweak it with RCS. RCS at these distances makes an amazing difference. Okay, I'm going to bring it down to about on the node N here, T minus. I'm going to bring that down to say 5 minutes remaining, and I'll start the burn there, and then we'll see what it updates the burn time to. It might actually be 16 minutes, but I don't think it will be. Okay, let's go ahead and start burning there and see what it tells us. It does say it's a 16-minute burn. And I don't know that I've got 16 minutes worth of fuel. Geez, that's a lot of fuel. I'm going to let it burn for a minute. We'll see what happens. Okay, as you can see, I've finished my burn. It was closer to 8 minutes, not 16. I have about 1,700 units of fuel left, and we still don't quite have an encounter. It's close, but we don't quite have it yet. So I'm going to do one more little burn here. It's going to create a periapsis of 5 million meters. I think that ought to do the trick. Just need another 11 meters per second. So I'm going to use RCS to do that. So let's warp to here. Alright, now let's just give it a couple stabs of RCS. And we'll go ahead and kill the maneuver node and just... If it's just 11 meters per second, I shouldn't have to do a full-on fire, but I guess we will. Come on, baby, get there. Get there. Alright, what's that going to do to my final orbit? Not a lot. That's good. And then hopefully Kerbin will be in a place where at apoapsis I'm able to pull it back down into a Kerbin orbit. So what's our current periapsis? 4.9. Okay. I think that's going to be pretty good. Alright, let's do a little spacewalk with our scientists and reset all of our science units here. So I did a little bit of science just now. Restore. Restore. Didn't use it. Log. Sure, keep it. Oops. Don't go too far. You are off platform. Okay, hop back in, brother. Wrong button. Ah. EVAs are hard. All right. So we've got a bunch of science there. Anything that we can transmit for 100%? Transmit that crew report. Oh, did I do an EVA report? Is it different depending on your role, I wonder? No, doesn't look like it. Okay. Alright, let's go do our encounter. These guys are going to be in space for a long time. They've already been up here for coming up on 2 years. How long is a Kerbal year? Looks like at least 400 days. About 430 days roundabout. Just warping around the sun, no big deal. Making it around. I see you, Duna. Okay, we should be able to angle back and start seeing the red planet to come into view. Is that it there? I don't think so. Oh, there it is. Hey, you guys. How's it going? Alright, so we're at 1x now. Let's go ahead and quick save. It kind of means we're point of no return as far as ensuring we don't run out of fuel. Alright, now, we have a couple of options here. We want to get our satellite into orbit of Ike, so I could detach it now and try to bring it in on its own trajectory. I think we'll try that first, and if it doesn't work, we'll quick save it. I think this is a good point to separate the missions. Although, if I brought it up, I wonder if I can do a burn that'll match the orbital plane here real quickly before I do that. The inclination, that is. Ooh, wrong button. It's a lot closer. This is not a polar one. It's raising our periapsis though. 344 meters per second. Is that worth it? All right, let's try detaching the probe now, so we can have a sense for how much it's able to do its thing. It just occurred to me I didn't put batteries on this, did I? So all it has is the solar power. Huh. Well, that's dumb. Can generate power, doesn't have to be able to store power, so that's fine. Okay. Why can't I control it? There's no reaction wheel. Well, this mission failed. I guess that means I'll have a relay out in the middle of space near Duna. Let's see if we can control it. Let's move this little guy out of the way. So what I want to do is fire this off and use the engine to control it. I guess that ought to work. Okay. So you go ahead and decouple. Alright, so now you've got an active engine. But it doesn't work. Why doesn't it work? I don't understand why it won't work. I guess it has to do with not having any batteries, but I didn't think I needed batteries. Oh, there it goes. I just can't use shift and control for some reason for this engine. Okay, well, set Ike as your target there, big man. And think about adding a maneuver. Control locked. Why, oh why is it locked? I don't know why it won't let me control it properly. I guess I could just experiment with it. If I burn this way, can I turn when I burn? Let's find that out. No, I have no attitude control of this thing whatsoever. And it's because it doesn't have a reaction wheel, I'm sure of it. Well, that is unfortunate. Let's reset. That is unfortunate. That means if I'm going to accomplish this mission, I have to put the whole craft into that orbit of Ike. Does it need a specific orbit of Ike? It sure does. Okay, we'll experiment with that. We'll do quick saves along the way, and we'll see if we can get it. I'm guessing it's because of the reaction wheel. We'll see if we can get the entire craft into that orbit of Ike. I doubt it, because we're going to need that fuel to get home. But let's do our flyby of Duna here. Where's Duna at? Where the heck is Duna? There it is. Okay, let's go ahead and run our science. Keep. Let's do crew reports. No usable comms devices in range. It's unfortunate. Well, if we get this thing launched, we'll be able to do that. Alright, so what do we have? Review stored data. High over the sun. Oh, it's still showing high over the sun. Oh, no, that one is. Sorry. High over Duna. Okay. Let's just do our flyby of Duna. And, I mean, we're not going to get low over Duna on this particular trip. So let's just go to our periapsis and get our look at Duna. And then maybe try an Ike encounter here with the whole ship. Oh, I should have done that from there. Okay, stop the approach. Let's experiment with an Ike encounter. Because I can get more science if I do stuff in orbit of Ike. Or at least high over Ike. And if I can fire... Okay, I have an idea to get it in orbit of Ike. And then later on I'll have to figure out a way to get it in specific orbit of Ike. I'll have to send out some sort of machine that can move that thing around in a later mission. Alright. So right now I've got a Duna periapsis, no Ike periapsis. If I want to get into orbit of Ike... Ooh. Boy, that's a lot of delta V for this, though. Okay, I think I have an idea here. If I can use the big ship to just get oriented for this burn, and then point it in the appropriate direction, move it out of the way, and then do my braking, and then do the burn with the satellite alone, I wonder if that'd do the trick. Turn off RCS, please. So, let's think this through. Alright, so right now I'm pointing the exact appropriate direction. I think what I'll need to do, which means, okay, let's think about this from the perspective of the probe though. Alright, the satellite is pointing in the appropriate direction for this burn. Where's Duna? There's Duna. Okay. So, if the satellite were to burn now, it would be appropriate, right? Well, it would, but I need to be able to slow it down. What is this going to do to my larger orbit? Anything? I hate to waste 400 meters per second worth of delta V. doesn't do anything to help me get home. Okay, well, we've got a quick save. What's the worst that can happen? If I have to revert, then I'll revert. Okay, so my idea here is I'm going to point to the satellite in retrograde, detach it, separate these two ships so that the main ship can carry on home, Duna 1 can carry on home, and then the Ike satellite can stay where it's at. I'm not going to quick save at this point, just in case that was a terrible, terrible fuel mistake. I'm not sure if 1,300 units of fuel is going to be enough to get me back to Kerbin at this point, and the main mission is more important than the satellite mission. Okay, so let's go ahead and detach this. And let these drift apart. Should get some good separation between them. I also want to make sure I run experiments on the main ship while in Ike's sphere of influence. Alright, if I start braking now, is that too early? Let's do a test. Ike's going to have enough oomph enough gravity to pull this thing in. I don't know. It's starting to happen, isn't it? No, it's not. I'm dreaming. I'm totally dreaming. I think at the end of the day, I'm going to have a relay near Duna in interplanetary space. Is it going to do it at the last second? Oh my goodness, I think it's going to do it. Ready to cut the engine. You ready? You ready? Is that in Duna or Ike? Huh. So I've got it in Duna orbit now with an Ike encounter. But I can't change my attitude for a later burn. Crap. So the best I can do is to continue to brake here and see if it forces an Ike. Nope, it's going to be in Duna orbit. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Okay, let's... Alright, we'll leave you there. It's half successful. Any reason not to go ahead and just run it out of fuel, though? You know what? Maybe I can force after all. No, maybe not. No. Okay, that's as good as it's going to get. An elliptical orbit around Duna. So I remember seeing something on YouTube about probe controllers, and I'm thinking that that might be the reason I can't control this thing. Right, where's our main ship at? Does that mean I have to go back to the space? There it is. Okay, how you looking? You should still be on your approach to Ike. Let's collect all our science real quickly. All right, and EVA report, please. Keep. Alright, well, so long, Duna. Until next time. Next time we're here, we'll probably be landing on you, or at least orbiting you. Alright, we are back in the solar sphere of influence. We've dropped off a relay station and gathered a whole bunch of good science. So now let's make Kerbin our target and see if we can get lucky and get home.